because sometimes say like at a moment you're emotional.
Yeah.
You know you've been sinning, but at that moment you're emotional.
Yeah.
When you accept Christ, there's a chance that when that emotion finishes, that you're gonna go back to the way you were before.
Or you mean like to accept Christ in emotionally, not really meaning it.
Yeah, at that moment you might think you mean it, but when the emotion is gone,
Yeah.
you'll go back.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. The thing with accepting Christ, I think it's really a deep thing. It's confusing because me too. Let me tell you a story. Me too. When I was with your dad, I always knew like Pastor Chris where I got born again when I was at high school. So now when I was with your dad, I think it was almost like 6 or 7 years later, or actually 4 or so, and I found out there's Pastor Chris's church. And then when we got to church and they said those who want to be born again, you know, they said all nice things about being born again. And then I jumped into it. I just went to be born again, and then I was immediately that day, I was instantly, I received tongues. And then in my mind, I thought, you know what, life is going to be smooth from now on. Because the pastor at that time, she said, you know, now that you're born again, you're speaking in tongues, if things are not working in your marriage or in your relationship or wherever, all you do is just go to the bathroom real quick, speak in tongues, when you come back, things are going to work out. That's what I'm explaining. That so when things started to be tough for me with your dad, I was now wondering, like, but I was told this is going to work, because now every time when we're not in good terms with your dad, I will, you know, maybe go to the bathroom if you're home to pray, and things are gonna be the same. Nothing was changing, and now I was asking myself, did I really like get this or I didn't get this? Like, what happened? And so as time went by, I realized that I still lived in sin. You know, like I still lived in sin, and I wasn't remorseful about it. I wasn't like emotional about it. I was just thinking, it's okay. I mean, I'm born again. Jesus loves me, and like that. I didn't understand that after you get born again, your lifestyle has to change in some way. Yes, Jesus is going to change you, but you also have to kind of participate in the way you do things, the way, yeah, sort of meet him in the middle. Like the same thing, that maybe my dressing has to change, the way I speak has to change, the way I think it had to change. But I didn't know that. So that made me to still remain in sin even after, you know, I received Jesus in that church. And of which I understand the pastor meant well. Because even now, now that I am really born again, when things are tough, if I pray, then I get to hear what Jesus, he gives me an instruction, do this, do that, and then I do that. You see what I mean? But what the pastor said that time is you can't say that to somebody who is newly born again, who doesn't understand all this. Because I was from a background of worshiping as ancestors, and I wanted to treat God that way also. And that, to me, it didn't bear fruit. Instead, it hurt me. I was in depression. But that time, I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know that it's depression. You can go there. I didn't know that it was depression, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't really a happy person. And you were young, and all this unhappiness, I was pouring it on you. You see what I mean? Yeah. That? That? Good.